Ball like Mitchell, or you can be like Reynolds and Skiffle. Give it a Johnston and he'll get triple. Pass it to Cleary, you know he'll run the pitch. Score points like Jabojevic, I'm game day fit, no need to switch. Cooking up like Cookie Man's in the kitchen. Who's that on the wing? It's Sivo. Score, try and do the Guffrino. Don't get too rowdy or too keen, or you'll end up like Hassan Tino. Get a 40-20 like BCE. Run the ball like hectic cheese. Support runner, that's Pappenhausen, but I still got Teddy at the SCG.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Final Siren podcast. Very special night tonight, as it's our last match preview of the NRL season, because it's the grand final, which I think all of us are pretty pumped for. Can't wait for this. We'll start it off quickly. We haven't done this before, but the team lineups. We'll quickly show a quick video. I'll read through them, boys, and then we'll get into a bit of a discussion. So here's the team lineups. Yep. So we'll get ready to announce those now. For the Penrith Panthers, lining up at fullback, it's Dylan Edwards. On the wings, Charlie Staines and Brian To'o. In the centres, Isaac Tungo and Stephen Crichton. In the halves, Jerome Luai and Nathan Cleary, who's co-captain. Moses Leota, Apise Coruscant and James Fisher-Harris there. Viliame Kikau and Liam Martin in the second row with Isaiah Yeo as another co-captain. On the interchange bench, it's Mitch Kenny, Scott Sorensen, Spencer Leniu and Jamin Salmon. And your 18th man is Sean O'Sullivan. So a few changes there. We'll quickly go to the Parramatta Eels. Clint Gutherson at fullback and captain. Micah Sevo and Wonga Blake on the wings. Will Penasini and Bailey Simonson in the centres. Dylan Brown and Mitchell Moses in the halves with Regan Campbell-Gillard, Reid Marnie and Junior Barlaw, who's also a co-captain there. Sean Lane and Isaiah Papali'i in the second row with Ryan Madison locking the scrum. And on the interchange bench, Nathan Brown, Jake Arthur, Oregon Kafusi, and Murata Nikore with the 18th man being Bryce Cartwright. So, boys, team list read and done. What do you think about these team lists, boys? First off, I'll ask that question. Who's got the stronger team, in your opinion, going into this grand final?
Lockie, go first, mate.
I think you've got to go Penrith, and I think the Penrith leads this due to the Eels bench. I think the Eels bench slows them down a lot. Penrith 1-17, they've been there all year. They know their roles. They know what they're doing. And with Parramatta, they've got a new centre, Bailey Simonson, who's only played one game there this year, and that was last week. Their bench is pretty ordinary. They've got Nathan Brown, who's came straight back in after 12 weeks. He's not going to be match fit for a grand final. They've got Jake Arthur, who's a waste of a bench spot as well. So you've got to lean towards Penrith by a long margin, to be honest, for the team list and who's got the strongest squad going into Sunday.
Well said. And you for us?
Yeah, it's pretty close for me, up from 1 to 13. But then you look at that bench. I think Jacob Arthur off the bench. Nathan Brown hasn't played for 12 weeks. I think that gives the edge to Penrith.
Well said. Yeah, same for me. I think Penrith, like you said, Lockie, I think the bench for Parramatta really lets them down here. Yeah, Jake Arthur's a big waste of a bench spot. I agree with you there. I mean, if you're not going to play him at all, unless a half gets injured, I don't really see the point of having him on. Maybe you could have put Makahesi Makatoa in his spot. Would have been a better pick. In my opinion, Bryce Cartwright could have been there. But, yeah, it's a bit of a weird one for me. I'm not too sure. I mean, they've got to the grand final of their weird bench picks, but I don't think it'll come up trumps for them this time. Faraz, we picked out a random stat for you before this game. So let us know this stat.
So before this encounter, the Panthers and Parramatta Eels have never met in a grand final before.
Which is, I mean, it's a bit crazy when you consider how long these teams have been around. Yeah, and their history, they don't like each other, Battle of the West and all that. So it's a bit weird considering they've never met in a grand final before. This is their first time. Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll talk about who we see winning and stuff, but that's just, it's crazy for me. I didn't really believe it until I heard it. But yeah, we'll quickly go into our key mans for each team and then our key matchup. So our key man, for Panthers, it's Dylan Edwards. He got pretty close to, he was up there on the Dally M leaderboard. He did pretty well this season. Boys, how good of a season has he had and how important is he for Penrith's success on Sunday?
Oh, well, there's only one way to describe this season: consistent. Like this guy, he isn't a big name player like your Clint Gutherson, your James Tedesco, Kalen Pong, and all that. But what you can get from Dylan is consistency. You can get experience at the back. You got good defense. His attacking game, his running game, especially, is really impressive. He never has an off game, does he?
He doesn't seem to. No. It's a bit weird. It's a bit weird considering I think he was pretty close to Dally M fullback of the year. Obviously, Tedesco had done enough to win it in the end, but for me, he was up there. What about you, Lachlan?
I think Dylan Edwards is probably just under, or if not level with Nathan Cleary in that team. He doesn't get enough credit for what he does. If it wasn't for Dylan Edwards, Penrith would not be in half the position that they're in. That man is Mr. Consistent. He shows up in attack. He shows up in defense. He's always there. He makes the big plays. He makes the effort plays, which is what you need from a fullback. And Dylan Edwards, he's probably the most underrated player in the comp for me, to be honest.
That's a fair assumption. Same. I think I agree with that. His efforts. I think this year people are starting to notice how good he has been. But I mean, so many years he's gone unnoticed. I mean, 2020, 2021, and this year, 2022, he's been great. So, yeah, for me, I think, yeah, he's really a key player to this Panthers team. And the meters he racks up every game as well is crazy. I swear he averages like 180 meters a game or something like that, maybe a bit more. So, yeah, he's up there as one of the best fullbacks this year. And I reckon he's the second best fullback this year, just behind Teddy. But I mean, if someone argues with me that Dylan Edwards has been better, I mean, I'm not going to exactly tell them to go sit down. I mean, yeah, he's been up there. But for the Eels, it's the other fullback. So usually for a key man, we don't do by position. We just do who we think's the key person. But Clint Gutherson is as key for the Eels. Obviously, the key matchup is different to the key men for each team. But boys, how good's Gutho been this season? And how important is he to the success of Parramatta's chances on Sunday?
Well, in contrast to Dylan Edwards, Gutherson has a fair bit of inconsistency in him. Like, when you compare Edwards and Gutherson at their best, you'd probably say Gutherson outsmokes him. But Gutherson, like, he's probably Parramatta's most crucial player. Like, a lot of people say that Sean Lane stepped up and won the game last week. Gutherson played a huge part. I think he saved at least 18 points maximum. His defense is slowly getting better. And look, once again, if he steps up on Sunday, Parramatta are a tough side to beat.
Fair said. And what about you, Lachlan?
Yeah, Gutho's another one. He's always showing up. A lot of people don't give him the credit that he deserves. He's always showing up in the big moments, the effort plays again. Gutho on Sunday, he's huge for the Eels. The Eels, yeah, they played well against the Cowboys, but they're going to have to go another half of what they just did. Because Penrith are a different beast this year, and they know how to win grand finals now. This is their third year in a row. They know the occasion. They know the fans. They know what this arena brings in the grand final. And Parramatta, a majority of their team probably has never played in a grand final. So Gutho has to stand up. Gutho has to be the man, and he's the key man for the Eels. Is what this segment is, and he definitely is. He's got a fire.
Thanks, Lachlan. And speaking of which, we have set our key men for each team. But we'll head to the key matchup, and I don't think it'll be any surprise to you boys. You haven't seen this yet. We're going in completely blind to this. But Nathan Cleary and Mitchell Moses, I mean, could you have a more mouth-watering matchup at this time of the year of arguably, I reckon, the two best halfbacks this year, personally. But, they've both been great. And I think they're very – just like the key men for each team, they're very they're key to opening the success for the teams on the grand final day. So, boys, let's hear your thoughts on the key matchup.
Well, at this time before, when we were talking about Panthers and Parramatta in week one, we were just talking about the forward pack. But here, I think this is where like the halves need to step up. Like the forward pack can do as much as they want, but like it won't go to any use if Moses can't back it up or Nathan Cleary can't back it up. And how big would this be for Moses' career if he wins it? If he finally wins a title against Nathan Cleary's men?
It'll be big. It'll really be big. I mean, I think there was a speculation apparently that if Moses, I'm not sure if he takes the Eels to a grand final or if he wins a grand final with the Eels. I'm not sure which one it was.
Just has to take one of the things.
Yeah, if that's the case, he's won an extra $100,000 into his contract. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it is what it is. Hopefully for Moses' sake, he performs. I want to see a close grand final. I'm not too sure how it would go, but yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see. And we'll quickly go to the stats, boys. Nathan Cleary, keep in mind he has played 9 less games than Mitchell Moses this season. So 16 games for Nathan Cleary, 17 forced dropouts, 17 try assists, 474.1 average kick meters, 93 average run meters, and 1 extraordinary large chin. And we'll quickly head to Mitchell Moses' stats. 25 games, 21 forced dropouts, 23 try assists, 420.9 average kick meters, 68 average run meters, and 1 regular sized chin, boys. We'll put aside the chin factor here, and we'll quickly just go to the actual stats on here. Who you reckon's had a better season? I mean, Cleary playing 9 less games, but also been up there stats-wise with Moses. So, yeah, up to you, boys. Let's hear your thoughts.
Even with Nathan Cleary playing like 9 to 10 less odd games, I think Nathan Cleary has definitely been the better halfback by a country mile. I think Moses has been top 3, top 4, you can argue, but Nathan Cleary is just on a different world right now. Ever since he's come back from his injury, he has not skipped a beat.
Well said. You, Lachlan?
Yeah, it does look like Nathan Cleary swallowed a carb on it, but I think he's on another level. This bloke, he's unreal. To be honest, if Panthers didn't have Nathan Cleary, they wouldn't be who they are. Nathan Cleary holds that team together. He carries that team every week. He brings the structure. He brings to what they need. He's probably one of the only players in the comp that is worth $1 million at the moment. But Sunday, he's gonna have to turn it up again because grand final, as I said, different pressure, different arena, and Cleary's gonna have to show up because if he doesn't, Parramatta will jump all over him.
Yeah, that's fair.
And this is this is just as important for Nathan Cleary, even though he's won a premiership last year because he wants to make up for that Origin series. Even though I don't think it was his fault, but it'll build up that legacy even more.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think another thing, boys. Who do you see winning this matchup tomorrow night? Obviously, sorry for springing this question on you, but we'll start with Lachlan here.
Cleary wins it for me. I think Moses will play a good game, but I think Cleary's just going to be another level tomorrow night, and I don't think Parramatta are going to be able to match it. They're going to have to put pressure on him all night for it to not happen because if they don't put pressure on him, he'll be putting up bombs for Wonga Blake, and then I guess the Eels are going to lose if that's the case because that really.
Yep, and for you, Faraz?
Moses will turn up, but can't go past Nathan Cleary. I think even last week, Moses wasn't at his best for me.
Yeah, well put. Now, we'll quickly do our same game multis, Lachlan. We'll run through those first before. Actually, we haven't done this before, but before we go to the tips, margins, and anytime try scorers. I'll do mine first just because I don't know. Mine's actually less return. Usually I'm up there, but Panthers head-to-head, Isaac Tago, anytime try scorer, I believe in the last few years, the left center for a team has always scored, and I think it'll be Tago. William kick-out, anytime try scorer, and Mike Acebo, anytime try scorer. Put yourself $10 on that. That's $160.75 return. That's like we like to say here. That is 160 and 3/4 frozen cokes from Macca's. Yeah. We'll quickly go to Lockie's same game multi. Lockie, you've gone big here, and it might pay off, but run us through it.
Well, it's a big game, so you got to play a big gamble. I've got Panthers head-to-head, Stephen Crichton anytime. I've also got Stephen Crichton to score a double, but I don't want to put the money into that. Brian Totter anytime, I think he'll go over. Sevo, he'll barge over probably. And Isaiah Papali'i, he's a try-scoring machine. I think he's due for one on Sunday in a big occasion. He always seems to go over, and the odds are 59.50. So you throw $10 on that, you're getting $595 back, which would be a handy little money on your Sunday night, but it's up to you which one you want to pick. But most importantly, make sure you're gambling responsibly, and if you're not for it, then don't put money on it. Don't put money on it unless you're ready to lose your money as well.
Definitely. like we always say, gamble responsibly. Think before you bet. Don't chase your losses. We can't give you this advice. We can give you the advice. We're not telling you to place bets on it, but we're not. Like, I'm not even going to place a bet myself on it. I think this could go either way. But yeah. So if you've got a problem with gambling, don't gamble. I'm not going to place any money on it. But yeah, if I were to, that would be my same game multi, and this would be Lockie's. So we'll quickly, before we do that, before we go to like the Dally M thoughts and opinions, which a lot of people have come here to see, we'll go to our tips, margins, and anytime try scorers, boys. So we'll start off with Faraz first.
I want to tip Parramatta. I want them to break that drought. I can feel it, but that bench just doesn't help at all. I just think Penrith will win this. I think they'll be too good. I think Panthers will win by in a close one. I think Panthers by 8. I'm going to go a scoreline of. I'm going to go 16. I'm going to go 18 points to 10, something along the lines of that. And I'm going to go. I'm going to go Stephen Crichton for a try. He always finds the try line in finals as well. So.
Yeah, maybe off an intercept this time.
I was going to say no.
But
Cody Walker's not playing.
Yeah, good picks there. Good picks. What about you, Lachlan?
Yeah, I've either got Penrith smashing them or Penrith to win in a close one. I think Penrith wins both ways, but I'm actually going to go Penrith by 20 points. I think they're going to blow the Eels off the park on Sunday. The Eels won't be able to match the occasion. They don't know what's coming. Penrith are a different team. The bench is going to kick the Eels in the ass. It's going to hurt them. And I think the final score will be 28-8. And we'll go someone not in my multi. We'll go Sean Lane for a try.
Sean Lane for a try. That's nice.
You don't give Parramatta any chance?
Huh?
You don't give Parramatta any chance at all?
Oh, there's a slight glimmer, but Moses throwing forward passes won't help him. I don't know. I don't have the Eels going very good in this game. But, again, I've been proven wrong in the past on this podcast, so
yep,
we'll see.
Quickly cut back to Sharks 13 plus. Okay, before we head on, we've got a comment that I quickly want to answer. We'll answer most of the comments at the end. Lockie might not be here. He might have stuff to do, but Fraz and I will be around at the end to answer comments. When's Davos coming back? I wanted to answer this now, though. He's actually given us a date. I think it was the 11th he'll be back, 11th of October. So we'll be doing – NRL season will be done by then. We'll be covering but we've got a few stuff planned. This isn't our last NRL content for the season.
No.
This is just our last match preview. We'll be doing we may be doing stuff like season reviews for the teams after the season. So make sure to stick around for that.
Also, though, if you guys have any ideas, make sure to drop them in the comments or send us a message on Instagram or something. Drop us what you want to see, ideas that we can try figure out to do. That's us around here as well. We want to make our content exciting, not someone we're going to pull your hair out and fall asleep on. So.
And if you're wondering why Davis isn't on right now, we said he'll come back around this week, but he's currently overseas as well, so that's another reason why he's not on.
He's on the other side of the world at the moment.
Yeah, so I'll answer this one just because it caught my eye. Thank you very much, Terry. Noah looking lit, except my name. I might need a name change. A few people have said that, but thank you very much. Where's your suit, Lachlan? Yeah, exactly. I've been asking myself the same question since I've joined.
This is a good enough suit for me, boy.
That's the most fancy. I said fancy dress to the group chat when we were talking, and that's the most fancy you're going to see Lachlan look. So I mean,
exactly right.
So I think that'll be it. So we'll quickly go to our Dally M thoughts and opinions while we're still here. We've got 8 viewers. Thank you very much to everyone for tuning into this one. Boys, we'll talk about first one, Rookie of the Year, Jeremiah Nanai. Either of you can start off this one.
I mean, it was probably the only one that you could have really chosen from. There were a few standout players like Jacob Kiraz and all that, EDC, but Ezra Man. But no, for me, it was a clear winner. And especially playing an Origin decider, he pulled his performances up. So, yeah, can't go past him. He's a future star for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And you, Lachlan?
I think this award was a no-brainer. I think Nanai was always going to win this. There's really no one else who's close to him at the moment. The kid his first year, he had an unreal season. He did slow off in the second half of the year. First half of the year, he was sensational. He's sensational all year, but the second half he slowed off a little bit. But again, it's his first year. You can't expect him every week to bloody run over grown men who've been in the game for 10 years plus. But
Exactly.
I think well deserved. We'll see how he goes next year again. He also made Origin in his first year. Not many people do that. But yeah, Nanai, well done.
Yeah, definitely. And before we head on, I forgot I actually didn't give my tips and tips margin anytime try scorer. I explained this if you were on Sam Revel's channel. I explained this when we went on. I've got Panthers by 14. I've got them to win 24-10. And anytime try scorer, I'm just going to put a bet on Papali'i. I didn't put him in my multi, but I have a feeling he'll get over. But yeah, Jeremiah Nanai, my thoughts on him being Rookie of the Year, there wasn't going to be anyone else. When you saw, I mean, I'm surprised Ezra Mam didn't get a nomination, but I mean, it is what it is. Jeremiah Nanai was always going to win it anyway, so it doesn't really annoy me too much. But Captain of the Year, this one was actually leaked early. They went to do a red carpet interview with Isaiah Yeo, and they actually accidentally put the graphic up that he would win Captain of the Year, which is just big mistake from Fox League. They usually end up doing stuff like that all the time. But yeah, boys, what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, once again, Isaiah had another big year for the Panthers. He's a phenomenal part of their team, probably the best lock in the game. You could make a case for Chad Townsend and all that, but fair winner here. Can't argue with this.
Definitely agree. And what about you, Lockie?
Yeah, I think there's no other option. Isaiah Yeo had to win this award. They've got the best team. He's the best player. Yeah, there's no really any. Maybe you could go like Cameron
Tedesco?
Murray. He could have been up there. You could have gone Tedesco. You could have gone a few of them. But Isaiah Yeo stands out by a long shot.
I mean, for me, Isaiah Yeo was always going to win this. But I mean, the only person who got close to me that I thought may have actually had a chance would be Chad Townsend, just because what the amount he's led Cowboys this season. But no, Isaiah Yeo was always going to win it, and it wasn't too much of a surprise. If it didn't get leaked early, I mean, I probably would have been a bit more surprised. But who knows? Coach of the Year, speaking of Cowboys, speaking of Chad Townsend, and speaking of changing the Cowboys this season, Coach of the Year went to Todd Payton. I mean, it's the same thing as Jeremiah Nanai and Isaiah Yeo for me. It was never really going to be anyone else, in my opinion. But what do you boys think?
Trent Barrett's robbed.
Trent Barrett.
Kevin Walden's robbed. Nah, but for real, this was between Fitzy and Todd Payton. But look, the Cowboys this year, they were expected to come last. Last year, they came 15. Even when they signed Chad Townsend, everyone was like, oh, nothing much for the Cows. He's washed up. Cows are going to come bottom 4. So what they've done, to be just short of a grand final appearance, controversially, you could argue, I mean, he's done wonders with that squad. Like Sharks, they didn't make the finals last year. I understand that, but Sharks were in a good position to make the 8 first. Cows weren't even expected to get out of the bottom 4. So look, Payton, what a comeback. I mean, the Cows, they look good for the future now.
Yeah.
Team to watch out for.
I agree. Yeah, they've been really good this year, the Cowboys, and I think Todd Payton deserved it. What about you, Lachlan?
Yeah, Cows aren't a team to watch out for. They're a 1-year wonder.
1 year wonder.
Yeah, they're a 1-year wonder.
I mean, that can happen. You never know.
Watch, Todd Payton will sign a huge, magnificent 6-year contract, and he'll get fired in the second year of it. Yeah.
Did any of you see his like post acceptance speech though?
Apparently he blamed the refs or something. I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure his last words were, there's only a few things we can't control, which is injuries, something else, and the refs.
Well, you just choked the 2012 lead. Can't do much about it.
Okay.
Exactly.
Well,
if you're a Cowboys fan in this chat, I hope you're crying.
Okay. Well, that's a great way to get fans, Lachlan. Thank you very much. Team of the Year. I'll quickly read this out. I've got it open right now. So for the Team of the Year, it was James Tedesco at fullback, Alex Johnson and Suwali on the wings. Corey Oates robbed. In the centers, it was Valentine Holmes and Joseph Manu. Halfback, Nicholas Hines, Cameron Munster, 5'8". In the second row, it was Kikau and Nanai, Yo at lock, Tarpany and Haas, James Fisher-Harris robbed in the front row, and Coruscant at hooker. I mean, Coruscant at hooker, you could argue that Grant should have been there or Cook or whatever. But, I mean, Haas and Suwali are the two that stand out to me, and I just think, how did they get there? Like, Oates was a top 2 winger this year, and anyone who doesn't think so is either blind or a New South Wales fan or both. But yeah, what do you boys think about the Dally M team of the year?
Well, that's probably one of the worst lists I've ever seen. I'm not even going to lie. There were a few names that should have been there but weren't. How Haas got into the team, I don't even know. I don't know about you blokes, but Payne Haas, all he did for Brisbane this year was ask for more money, and he literally stepped on Albert Kelly's shoes, or was it the other way around? That's the only thing he's done this year that I remember really well. And I don't really have much other problems, but it's not a good team, I don't think. I just don't rate it. And I'm not being biased, but I definitely think that Corey Oates or Taylor May would have gotten a spot over Suwali, just in my opinion.
Taylor May's too busy assaulting people.
What about you, Lachlan? You have your say on this.
To be honest, I didn't watch the Dally M because I was busy. I was out. But Payne Haas, don't know how he got his way in there. He was being a pain in the ass this year. Corey Oates, yeah, he probably should have gotten in. But again, who knows? So who got the spot? Joseph Suwali.
Yeah, Joseph Suwali, Alex Johnson on the wings.
He might have used his rugby union contract to get in there. But yeah, I think it's a pretty shitty lineup, to be honest. I think it could have been a lot better.
Who would you have in place for Payne Haas? I would have either James Fisher-Harris or Paulo.
Nah, it's got to be Fisher-Harris. You can't go past him. This year, he was probably the best forward in the game.
100%.
Yeah.
And the fact that he still misses out just shows how broken the Dally M is.
The system is actually so broken. It's not based on points for some reason, which is just stupid. It's absolutely rigged. Selwyn Cobbo was on 7 points after round 12. Again, I'm not saying that Selwyn Cobbo deserved to be there. I didn't think he did, but points-wise, that should have meant he would have been in the team of the year as winger of the year. But no, he wasn't. Suwali was on 0 points after round 12. Corey Oates was on 1.
Wow.
And I know I even went through the games, looked at the games myself. Suwali maybe would have got 2 extra points for his efforts. And Corey Oates would have got probably like 1 or 2 himself, which should have meant that Corey Oates would have been ahead of Joseph Suwali. The system's broken. I don't know.
How many points was Cobbo on again?
He was on 7 after round 12. Yeah. Broad Wonder says Noah being biased. No, I'm actually no. I don't think Cobbo should have been there. I think Oates should have though. But you can't honestly tell me. You can't look me straight in the face and tell me Suwali was more consistent and better than Oates was this year. Oates was the Broncos' best player this year. Oates was and Haas doesn't deserve to be there either.
100% no. I don't know about you blokes, but Payne Haas for me, he's consistent, don't get me wrong, but he's just so predictable. He's nothing special.
Yeah, definitely.
You probably have bloody Paddy Carrigan over Payne Haas.
Even Reuben Cotter was.
I mean, if you could, like, I think the only problem is, since Carrigan plays lock, he can't be there. I'd want Cotter to be there. Cotter should have been there over Haas, definitely. Fisher-Harris should have been there over Haas. Paulo or Regan Campbell-Gillard probably should have been there, but I mean, it is.
Just one thing. For people saying that we're only saying this just because Payne Haas asked for all that money and all that saga, that's not the reason why we're like pinning Haas. Like anyone who watched NRL this year knows that Payne Haas wasn't prop of the year.
Yeah. Definitely. It is what. Yeah, it's not. It's not because we think he's leaving, but yeah,
he did say he's going to commit to us. So
yeah, he said he's committing to us, which I'm really happy about. He's a good prop. He probably is a top 2 prop in the
thing
game.
Is though in the NRL, it's like life. It's a lot of talking and there's no action. They say all these things, they get the fans' hopes up, they get the news media outlets excited, they make all these articles, and they do the complete opposite of what they say.
Exactly. It is what it is. But we'll get to the big one now. We talked about Team of the Year, Coach of the Year, Captain of the Year, and Rookie of the Year. But what about the Player of the Year, the Dally M medalist? Nico Hines won that, and I was a bit surprised, but it was clear. It was clear like 20 minutes from when he was announced that it was going to be him. Boys, what were your thoughts on Nico Hines being announced as the Dally M medalist of 2022?
When they were showing the round by round and they were showing the point system, a lot of the games where Hines got 3 to 2 points, I don't even think he was their best player on the field, believe it or not. And look, taking nothing away from Hines, like moving to the halfback role, it's not easy in your first year as much as he did it really well. But I just think with an easy draw and everything, I just don't think we all saw what happened in the big games. In the 2 finals games, we saw what happened in the big moments. He wasn't there, was he? And I'm not saying he isn't a great player. He deserves it. I can live with this decision. But for anyone that's a Dragon fan or that's a Ben Hunt fan, you can definitely feel that Ben Hunt was omitted. And especially that origin performance from Ben Hunt, that should have definitely got him up there. But you know what? Hines played really well. First year as halfback, credit to him. But 38 points and him being the best ever Dally M medalist, I mean, I don't know what to say about that.
Dally M points don't count for Origin though, so Ben Hunt's performance wouldn't have meant anything in the end. But I mean,
true.
what a performance it was as a Queensland fan. But yeah, I don't. There's no way he was the highest polling Dally M medalist. That's just no.
The fact that he's beaten Jonathan Thurston, Billy Slater, Andrew Johns, bloody all them is ridiculous. That's like saying Thomas Flegler is better than bloody James Fisher Harris at the moment. It's off the market.
Yeah, but yeah, he shouldn't have polled that much. I think Thurston polled 37, a few years ago. It didn't deserve to be broken like that. He wasn't in. Yeah, and I agree with Faraz. In a lot of the games where he polled 3 points, he was not the best player. So yeah, I mean, I feel like it's a bit rigged at times. But yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is what it is. We'll go to a Q&A segment. We've got a few questions in the chat, not too many, I don't think. But I'll go up to the top. And Hunt robbed, I reckon, says Nick Sam. I think we just covered this, boys. Yeah, that's a fair shout. Hines deserved it. I feel like I'm not gonna lie.
He deserved it. Let me put it this way. I think he deserved it, but I don't think he was the best player. If that sort of makes sense.
Yeah. I feel like I agree. I feel like he ended up deserving it, but he definitely Hunt was the best solo player all year. He had to carry the Dragons on his back. Cleary best half this year. I think so, but I mean, after the spear tackle, he was never gonna get the Dally M points. Eels to break their drought. No, not in my opinion. But for you Eels fans, I hope so. But for the Eels fans who aren't as nice as our fans who come and comment in our chat, for the Eels fans who constantly brag about having beat every single team and having lost to the Tigers, I hope they lose.
You might win the NRLW, but I don't know about the NRL.
I hope they win the NRLW. I'm going to be going for the Eels in the NRLW.
I think Newcastle will be too strong as well.
But why is Jacob still in the team?
Beats me.
Because he's a gun, mate. Okay, that's why.
He's the best. He's the best Sun player, except for Billy Walters, currently. So I feel like
Billy Walters is immortal, mate.
Yeah, honestly, Jacob Arthur is legit. Ivan Cleary and Nathan Cleary, Brad Arthur and Jacob Arthur, Ivan Cleary and Nathan Cleary from Wish, and then Kevin Walters and Billy Walters are Wish. So I don't know. Tedesco was better just. I think that this was in response to us saying Edwards could have been the best fullback this year. I think so, but I mean, it is. Yeah, Tedesco I think was just better, but yeah, I think Dylan Edwards deserves more praise than he gets. Edwards top 5 fullback. Edwards top 2 fullback for me after this season.
Top 3 for me.
Top 3 for me.
Definitely top 3. For me, I'm not sure who else would really beat him. I mean,
who would be your top 5 fullbacks then? Not in any order if you want.
I can do it in order. I'll go with Lachlan first. I'll think about it for a bit.
Tedesco, Edwards, Latrell, Pappenhausen. I feel like I'm missing someone.
Tommy Turbo.
Yeah, well, this year you would put him at 5 because he didn't really play, to be honest.
For me, I would go James Tedesco number 1. I would go Dylan Edwards number 2. I'd go Tommy Turbo number 3 because I think he's been simply outstanding. Just his season came to an end. I think number 4 would be Latrell Mitchell, and 5th,
Tessie New.
probably say Gutherson. Just he has to be consistent though.
Gutherson? You must be the bloody
You've
voter
got-
for Nick Lyons.
Have you got Pappenhausen?
Oh shit! No, sorry, Pappy 5th. My bad.
For me, top 5 this season has been James Tedesco, Dylan Edwards. Then I'd probably have Latrell in there. Then it gets to the time. I'd have Pappenhausen
I might
next.
swap Mitchell with Pappenhausen. I think Latrell's good, but I don't think he's that good at fullback compared to center. So
I mean, but this season though, you'd have to say Latrell's probably.
But Pappy, Pappy missed like half games this year, and he was still like in top 5 daily M's after like 60, 70 rounds as well. So that has to consider for something.
Yeah, true. But yeah. And then I'm not sure who my 5th would be, honestly. Maybe I feel like I'm forgetting someone again. Probably Turbo. But not this season. Hey, this season he wasn't really good. But
Callum Ponga?
No. Not Kalen Ponga at all.
Davis.
Tamare Martin. Okay, next question.
He's been top 10 this season, I would say.
This season, I reckon he's been up there. He's been pretty good.
Yeah.
Gutherson is overrated.
Yeah. Fair.
I'd say so. We've already answered this one. Moses needs to step up. Yeah, he does. If Para are any chance, he needs to step up. Moses will show up. Lockie, do you reckon he will?
He might show up to the after party, but I don't know about the game.
And that's why he's here. The comedic timing on this bloke is brilliant. Hope Eels win.
I'm going for Panthers.
I'm going for Panthers too. I just don't. I can't really stand the Eels.
I can't sign either, but I have to go for someone.
They're definitely
the only person keeping Parramatta in this game is Charlie Staines.
Yeah.
I mean, that bloke. His last name is for a reason.
As Faraz gets the Jodo Wi-Fi.
As Charlie Shitstains has just ran over Faraz, and his screen has carked it. But we will move on.
Yeah. Nice haircut, Faraz. He's back. He heard the comment. His camera quality's gone from like 1080p to 320 or something like that. I'm not even sure. But
did you just run the Macca's, bruv?
But Critter always gets a try in the finals. I believe this is what Faraz said when he tipped him anytime try scorer. So yeah, definitely. I think he does. Maybe off like I said before, hopefully off an intercept again. That would be pretty. You know what I hope happens, and this is directed to not the good Eels fans. This is directed to all the bad Eels fans. I'm looking you in the face right now. I hope it goes to Golden Point and Mitchell Moses drops the ball off the kickoff.
National Sports Loaded.
Wednesday. Oh no, we've already answered that. Panthers have pressure to win this.
Both teams have pressure to win this. Both teams have pressure.
Eels are under more pressure for me.
Panthers already won a comp as well, so.
Yeah, Nick from Australia wouldn't agree with me. He thinks they're under the most pressure, but no.
Fair enough.
Eels for me.
I might need to bring that
out. Eels in Golden Point. Yep, Eels to drop the ball in Golden Point. That's what I think. Hopefully. But sorry to all the Eels fans. Yeah, I hope for you it's all right, but no, I don't think it will. I'm betting the Tigers to win the grand final. Me too.
Shut up.
I reckon the Tigers win 13+, and I'm going to go.
Can I just say, this guy comments about 5 times about the Tigers. If you think you're funny, no one laughed.
I swear, the hell.
Eels will show up. trust. I'll trust you, Broad Wonder.
I
I'll trust
don't
you.
trust you. No, I'm joking, bro.
Yeah. I reckon Bulldogs will show up and win the grand final.
Oh,
wow, another nice one.
that was very funny.
196-3 to the Tigers. Yeah, sure. World Cup reviews. I think this is in response to us saying we needed more stuff. We actually are covering the World Cup. We are covering the World Cup. So look out for that. We are covering the World Cup. We can't wait.
I think it's going to be Australia wins it.
That's FIFA and
Did Ferez just say you think Australia wins it?
Yeah.
Oh, are we talking soccer or cricket?
No, cricket. So rugby league.
Hey, we're covering just for people who don't know, we're covering the FIFA World Cup, the Cricket World Cup, and the Rugby League World Cup. Not all games from it, but some games, most of them. Like maybe 50-50, I don't know. Lachlan runs this. Yeah,
thank you very much.
Probably. Lachlan's the main reason we're doing so well.
No one Ferez don't exist.
Okay. Ma'am wasn't even a nominee.
Yeah, I saw that. What the hell?
Rookie of the year.
I saw that.
It's very questionable. But yeah, it's what it is. I mean, at the end of the day, you just have to accept the completely Queensland bias. Dally M predictions. Dally M voters. So yeah, it is what it is. But Ma'am robbed. Jeremiah is cracked. He really turned the Raiders side around. Al Leasy, can I put this kid in a timeout? Yeah, there we go. I feel much better about myself now. Haas ain't worth 1 million.
Not even close.
Yeah, he isn't. No prop is worth 1 million. The best prop in the game at the moment is Joseph Tarpany, and he is worth 850k in my opinion. Max. 850k max. Noah being biased or no, I've already answered this. Oates was better than Tubo for sure.
100%. This year, yeah, for sure.
Definitely. Didn't see Hines in finals.
Me neither,
did I. He went missing a bit. I'm not gonna lie.
He went Cronulla Beach, mate.
Yeah, but yeah. Who are we going for on Sunday, boys? Going for as opposed to tipping. For me, it has to be Panthers. I just don't. Sorry, Parramatta fans, don't really like your club. What about you, Ferris?
Panthers for
me. Yeah. We've only got a few more comments. Reynolds or Moses?
This year Moses.
No, actually, no, I'm joking. Moses. Yeah, Moses definitely this year and probably in the future. Like he said, got to be Moses right now for sure. Lachlan, do you hate Cowboys or Titans more? I already know the answer. So,
I hate Titans because of BKR, but I hate the Cowboys the most. Since 2015 and before then, I haven't liked them. But since 2015 and forever, I'll hate that club with a passion. And if the Broncos ever beat you in a grand final again, if I see you on the street, I'll laugh, I'll shit on you, and I'll grab your box of tissues that have the Broncos logo on it because I fucking hate your club, okay?
I have a box of tissues that has the Broncos logo on it. But speaking of which,
mail them to me and I'll send it to every Cowboys fan.
Latrell at center. Yep. Yeah, he's pretty good. He's a really good center.
He's probably the best center. He was still playing.
Do cricket, BBL, and World Cup. Yeah, we'll be covering all those. But all 3 World Cups and Australian cricket and BBL.
There's a star sign in Davos, Lachlan, and Noah go for Heat. I'll go for Sixers. So yeah,
well spread out as opposed to when we cover NRL. 3 of us are Broncos fans, and Davos practically loves the Broncos anyway. But I'll quickly shout out our podcast. We've still got 3 more questions, but I'll quickly shout out the Instagram because if you haven't seen already, we've announced what we'll be doing in the off season on there. So yeah, make sure to go and check that out and give us suggestions on that post or any post on what we should do in the off season. We're looking for more to do, but I'll be there up the Eels, says Ryan Hughes.
Oh, yeah, Ryan. Yeah.
I hope they win.
I hope you enjoy.
Yeah,
would be a great game to go to.
It really would. Cartwright is more deserving
100%.
a bench spot than Jake Arthur. Easily.
100%.
I mean, I don't even think.
I don't think it's a question.
It's not even.
It's just a statement.
Manly are just the best club. Jonty, you can keep on dreaming.
Yeah,
Okay.
best they're giving away the gay pride jerseys, eh?
Stick to cricket, mate. Lily Parkin says, "Who are you guys' favorite teams like of all time?"
Like as in players or team? Like, what do you
I
mean?
think if I was to say 2006 Broncos would probably be my all-time favorite team.
2017 Storms up there for sure. They were dominant.
So you'd rather go the Storm over your Broncos for us?
No, no. Just
Oh, hey, Davos.
For
I
us
didn't know
Storm
you were
fans
coming back.
confirmed. Davos is back early from India, everyone. But
Do you have
no,
a Storm jersey as well?
he probably does. I remember one time I was on a call with this man and I said, "Oh, do you have a?" Oh, I bet when you took off your South jersey, you had a Roosters jersey underneath. He was like, "Oh no, I didn't." And then he got home and he sent me a picture and he's like, "I had my Roosters cap on though." Roosters don't have caps; they only have sombreros. Everyone knows that. Do BBL season predictions?
100%, yeah,
that's a good one. I think Faraz has discussed that with us. So we'll definitely be doing
Sixers
that.
to win the comp, hate to come last. There you go.
No, wait.
Chris Lynn leading run scorer.
Chris Lynn leading run scorer for for over the whole BBL. Chris Lynn to hit 100 sixes in this one season. Brisbane Heat to finish second, Strikers first, Sixers last, and Scorchers second last. That would be a dream. And Jonty Munt, this is the last question of the night. I'll keep dreaming up the Heat this season. Up the Heat, Jonty.
100%.
Up the Brisbane Heat. I love the Heat. Can't wait for them to win a premiership and do what the
I
Broncos.
love the Heat, but his first season was last year. Let's go.
Last season was 2 years ago. Get it right. 2 years. 2 years ago. Okay. 2 years.
Your first season they made the finals. Like all Heat fans were
The first season I started supporting, they made finals.
So Noah's really a bandwagon. There we have it, folks.
No,
that is how we will end it here. Thanks for tuning in to the Final Siren podcast again for the grand final preview. It's going to be a cracking game. Make sure you tune in for the review. We'll know who the premiers are. Maybe we'll do a Mad Monday. No, we won't do that. But
will we?
check us out on Instagram at the Final Siren podcast. Follow us over there. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We will keep creating content, even in the NRL season coming to an end. We will be covering your other favorite sports. We might even grab some of you guys on in the off season. If you're welcome to come on, we're open to any ideas. And we'll see you for the review.
Titans don't win the spoon, I will jump off a cliff. I will legitimately jump off a cliff.